What I say isn't important. It's only what the speakers say that's important.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My name's Dan Wass. I write a book series called Good Gun, Bad Guy, and I just want to thank everybody for being here today. And if you're watching on C-SPAN, if you're watching online, you are taking part in a very special event this weekend. So congratulations for being here, and thank you for being here. I want to talk today about what it looks like to win. You know, we're always talking about this. We're always kind of defending ourselves against this anti-gun narrative, and I might touch on some of the stuff that Masad was talking about. But what does it look like to win? And the reason we want to talk about the narrative is because the narrative is very important. If we don't defeat this anti-gun narrative, we're going to be living in it forever. Why is the narrative so important? Well, the narrative shapes public opinion, and public opinion puts people in office that make legislative decisions to violate our Second Amendment. So what does winning look like? Well, winning looks like the Bruen case. We just had a decision in the Bruen case that a success, a level of winning and a level of success that we haven't seen in decades. I know the feeling I had, and I was like, I can't believe this happened. This is really great. This is where the Supreme Court rolled up the Constitution and hit the New York State Legislature right over the head with it. And they deserved every bit of it. So, but we talk about the narrative, and we talk about how it shapes public opinion, so we got to go back to 1994 and the so-called assault weapons ban. Do you remember Dianne Feinstein holding up that AR-15, saying, this is the problem, this is what we need to get rid of. We need to get rid of these assault weapons, and she tried scaring the nation. She said, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in. And then Bill Clinton would go on and he would say, we got to get rid of these assault weapons so we can save lives, so we can stop violence. Well, as we all know, the 1994 assault weapons ban did nothing to stop violence, and it sunsetted 10 years later as a result. So what does the Biden administration want to do? They want to do it again, because somehow this time it's going to work, right? So the problem that the Biden administration is having is that the Second Amendment is getting in the way, and that is winning. So the gun grabbers have tried to instill fear in the hearts of people who don't know any better. They're constantly preventing us from seeing accurate information, from people to see accurate information about gun statistics and gun-related issues, and they permeate society with anti-gun, fake gun stuff, fake gun stories, fake gun statistics. So the truth is, though, in 2020 we had a massive surge in gun sales, and that was people saying, we're not buying it anymore. We don't believe the narrative. And this is people defying the narrative. To me, that looks like winning. Gun grabbers teach people to hate gun owners. They teach people that gun owners are recklessly and intentionally putting people in danger. But despite their efforts, the McCluskeys stood their ground, and Kyle Rittenhouse saved his city. That's winning. So let me talk about, for a minute, the two human emotions that they are able to target when convincing people to go anti-gun, people to support anti-gun legislation. They use our emotions against us. They use fear and hate, the two strongest human emotions. People might say, well, love is the strongest human emotion. You can get just about anybody to do just about anything if they're scared enough. You come up to New York, where I live, and you'll see people roaming the grocery stores like zombies with their masks on because they're scared. So fear came in, and it's used all the time as a tool to get people to support gun control, like I said, with Dianne Feinstein and her assault weapons ban and scaring people, but also to teach people to hate gun owners by convincing them that gun owners care more about their guns than the children. Unfortunately for them, we have the Kleck-Gertz study, which showed us that 2.5 million times per year in America, guns are used to save lives. We also had a CDC study that backed up the Kleck and Gertz study, and it showed that defensive gun uses happen about 2.46 million times per year. And then we even had a Georgetown University study that showed us 1.6 million defensive gun uses per year. The studies proved them wrong. And as far as gun owners being reckless and dangerous, it was Jack Wilson and Stephen Williford, two good guys with guns who save lives. That is winning. The anti-gun crowd has injected terminology into the conversation, terminology that we have to deal with on a daily basis, things like assault weapon. So we talked about Dianne Feinstein and her so-called assault weapon. That is just to scare people who don't know any better. The term was brought into the public forum, and it was used to push for gun control. Weapons of war. You know the term weapons of war. This was used by Obama and Hillary, and they loved this term, weapons of war. This is so you can believe that these so-called weapons of war, which they never really defined, are roaming around the cul-de-sac where you live. They're going to pop up at the backyard barbecue, these weapons of war, and they're going to kill everybody in sight. Another one is ghost guns, the new term, term du jour is ghost guns. And, what's scarier than ghosts, right? I mean, we all watch horror movies because we want to be scared, and we like the idea of that. So ghost guns, you put ghost in front of the word gun, and you got a scary element for somebody who doesn't know any better. But ghost guns, as we know, are a path to serialization, universal background checks, and ultimately a gun registry, and we all know where a gun registry goes. But despite their efforts to make people think that guns act on their own, the AR-15 sprays bullets and kills everyone in sight, Americans have purchased over 24 million of them. We defy that narrative as well, and that's winning. You may remember the movie True Lies from 1994. This was Jamie Lee Curtis, and there was a scene in the movie where she's standing at the top of the stairs, and she's got this MAC-10. Remember it? Somebody's laughing over here. They know the scene because she's at the top of the stairs. She's got this MAC-10 is falling down the stairs. It's every time it hits the stairs, the gun flips and it sprays bullets all on its own and kills all the bad guys, right? It flips again, it hits another step, it sprays bullets and kills the bad guys. And it did that all the way down the staircase. This is to show you that guns act on their own, because we know we don't see that in real life. They had to visually create that for you to keep that image in your head so you believe in gun violence. So as much as the political left would love to take over every aspect of your life, including your home, your money, your children, our founding fathers said that they can't do it. Our founding fathers saw these tyrants coming over 200 years away, so they wrote the Bill of Rights. That's winning. When the anti-gun crowd says no one needs to carry a gun in public, as if gun ownership was measured by some metric of need, we help them see that they have a 1 in 275 chance of becoming the victim of a violent act. So what does winning look like? Winning looks like your former anti-gun next-door neighbor asking you for advice because he wants to become a gun owner. Winning looks like your teenager asking you to take them to the range. Winning looks like your spouse deciding that they want to become a concealed carrier. Winning looks like firearms training in schools. Winning looks like packed gun ranges every day. And winning looks like the bad guys being on their best behavior because they know there will be consequences for their violent actions. So just to close, I want to say guns aren't bad, guns are good. And it's our job to help society understand that. And the Second Amendment is not a privilege, it's our right. And thank you very much.